Hey, Fuel family, let me bring you up to speed on where we are in preparation for the hurricane. So we've created a fairly robust emergency action plan to try to meet the needs of our people and our community in the event that our local authorities are overwhelmed and can't respond. So we have an emergency hotline number. Let me give you the number. It's very important you share this with your friends, your family, anybody who lives in our area. I mean, obviously we're not going to be driving to other cities and other locations. But this emergency contact number is 813. It's not 863, 813 708 5960. I'll say it again, 813 708 5960. We will send this information out through social media, so it'll be a little bit easier for you to grab, but write that down, 813 708 5960. This is the emergency contact number for you to call in the case of an emergency. You've called 911. If it's a dire emergency, call 911. If they can't get to you, then call this number. We will try to mobilize some of our teams to get out to you. This is going to be in addition to if after the storm passes, you've got trees that's blocking your home, blocking your driveway, it's fallen in your yard. All of these will be prioritized. What's most important down to what's the most urgent down to what's least urgent. So it may take weeks before we get around to everything to do all the cleanup, but we really want to provide an emergency response. If you need some help, we want to make sure we get people to you. So we've got two teams that are going to be doing clearing. So their guys are running chainsaws, moving logs, branches, things like that. We've got medical teams that's going to go out and provide medical support. These are EMS, nurses, doctors, whatever, be providing these types of support. We've got food distribution. It's going to go out. Primarily, the food distribution is going to be going to our clearing teams that's out doing the work all day, clearing roads and just getting people back in their homes. So we want to support them by feeding them every day. So we've got two pretty large teams for that as well. So all that stuff is taken care of. It's in really good position. Every team has a team leader. Every team leader has a director, and every director reports back to the church, so that we can make sure that all the resources are going where they need to be and everything's structured and organized. So we feel really good about that. Hopefully we won't need to utilize much of these services, but we need to plan for every possible scenario so that it's not just complete chaos, that we're pretty structured and organized going forward. If we need to open up our church for a shelter, we'll do that. That's a last case scenario, because if we open up our church as a shelter, that means we've got to staff it. We've got to pull people away from their families in the midst of the storm. We'd rather not do that. So if you need to shelter somewhere, then contact our local shelters. Let me tell you where they are, the closest ones. So for regular shelters, you've got Kathleen in Sleepy Hill. If you need a pet-friendly shelter, you need to have your shot records with you, but that will be Tenor Rock. And then McKeel Academy of Technology is a shelter for families that have special needs. So if you fall into those categories and you need a shelter, seek shelter here first. If there are no shelters available anywhere, we will be happy to open up the church. But we're not set up to be a shelter, but we're not going to let you stay in your home if you're trying to get out. So just let me know in advance. That way we can make sure that the church is going to be open. So right now, I don't know if we're going to have people that want to come here, but exhaust the shelters. We'll use Fuel Church as a last case scenario. And then after the storm, you won't need to call the emergency hotline number to do some clearing of your property if you need assistance. We're going to send out a QR code that you can scan that will take you to a form. You fill out a form, list your name, your address, what the need is. Like if you've got a tree that's down in your yard, or multiple trees that's down in your yard, that may not be as important as somebody that has a tree that's blocking their driveway, that they can't get in and out of their driveway, or somebody that's got a tree that's leaning against the house that we've got to free from that. So we're going to prioritize those calls and schedule them out, but that will be done primarily through that QR code where you fill out the form, not the emergency contact number. If you have an emergency and you need some assistance pretty quickly, call the emergency hotline number. That's what we set it up for. I'll be receiving these phone calls and sending them out to the appropriate teams to make sure that we get people mobilized to you as quickly as possible. I pray that all of this work, we're not going to need to utilize it. It was all for nothing, but it's good to have a plan and to be prepared in case any event happens, we're going to be ready for that. So we love you. Stay safe. Let us know how we can serve you. If you need to contact me immediately or have any questions, you could email me, mike@fuel.church. There is no .com. It's just mike@fuel.church. Do not use the emergency contact number to call me just to ask different questions. Let's keep that free for emergencies only. So mike@fuel.church. We love you. We're here to support you. We love you so much. And be safe. God bless.